Good morning, dolls, and welcome to Little Gretchen's workshop. So today is the final video for the laundry room series. And dolls, I wanted to make a clothesline. So I used a piece of burlap cord long enough to go across the length of the laundry room. And I added a couple little pieces of fabric in the shape of some men's tank style undershirts. And I did two of them. I actually overlapped them on the little clothesline and glued them together to allow them to dry. I also had a little leftover coat from another project, and so I dipped it in my water and glue solution and wrapped it with wire to let it dry. So there's the little basket, and we're going to fill it with dirty clothes. Well, actually, we're going to pretend they're dirty. The fabric is actually clean. Now, dolls, if you actually have some miniature clothes to put in a basket, that's great, but I actually don't have any to spare. So I'm just using fabric in different colors and styles to drape over the basket to look as though it's dirty clothes. So after I selected a couple pieces of fabric that I liked, I dampened it with the water and glue solution. Now I didn't wet the whole piece, I just wet the part that I wanted to drape. The dry part is in the bottom of the basket. And I tucked it in and draped the wet part over the edge. Now that's going to dry in that shape. Now if you need help keeping those pieces encouraged to stay draped, you can use a paper clip or a clothespin to hold them down. I found another little piece of fabric that I thought would bring a nice, interesting pattern or shape, and I kind of bent it and shaped it differently and wet that little portion so that that end will be damp and the other part dry, and draped it over the basket as well. And that piece didn't want to stay bent, so I definitely need something to keep it in that shape. So dolls, I just grabbed a couple of those small clothespins that I use and just pinched that part down so that it would dry and shape properly. Now dolls, with this process, you choose as many different patterns and shapes of fabric that you like. I had a couple different plaids, some stripes, some dots. I just wanted a lot of variation, and I had a piece that was kind of like a plaid color, and I had them cut into shapes that looked like sleeves, so I thought they would look really cute hanging out of the basket, looking like some shirt sleeves. So dolls, this is just another occasion where your scraps and remnant pieces of fabric really come in handy. And you just need to create an illusion. Again, you don't have to use actual clothes. It just needs to look like clothes. And dolls, again, this is just another instance where I just began to play to see what looked good. I tried one piece, tucked it in, see how I liked it, tried another one, took it out, didn't like it so much. And you just have to see what works, just see what's pleasing to your eye, to see what actually looks interesting. So I just played with those dolls and tucked pieces and took them out and dampened some and folded some and pushed more down because I wanted it to look nice and full. And dolls, as I played and worked with the little basket, I realized it was looking really good, but there was one thing I was missing. Every laundry basket has at least one bath towel. So I took a small piece of baby washcloth and balled it up and tucked it into the center of all the other pieces of fabric. And to me now, the laundry basket looks really full and complete. I'm really pleased at the way that looks, dolls. So I'm going to just set that aside and allow it to dry with the clothespins on it so everything will stay nice and neat and the draped pieces will dry draped over the edge of the basket. Now here's that little coat that I dampened earlier, and I wrapped it with the pipe cleaners to keep it in the shape that I had it. This little coat I'd like to hang on those hooks in the laundry room, but I needed it to keep that draped shape. So that's why I allowed it to dry wrapped in the wire. And let me unravel it so you dolls can see what it looks like now that it's dry. It's a little hard and it's a little stiff, but it'll hang really nicely on those hooks in the laundry room. I just want to show you dolls a little pair of pants that I dampened and folded over the bar on a hanger that'll come in handy in one of the bedrooms. But let me go ahead and finish up this laundry. So now I have a basket of dirty laundry and a coat to hang on the hook, but I do need some clean linen to be folded up and stacked on the washing machine. So I found several little white pieces of fabric, that same handkerchief weight fabric that I had, and I ironed it really neatly. And in between the folds, I put a little bit of the liquid stitch or the fabric fusion to keep the little stacks folded and neat together, because I'm never going to unfold these dolls. I just need them to be nice little props in my laundry room, so they'll look like there's a stack of clean sheets or pillowcases, just fresh linen to put on one of the rooming house beds. So in this instance, dolls, you can do as many stacks as you want, and you can make some big, you can make some small. Just make sure you have plenty of nice, clean, freshly ironed bed linen for your house. Now, dolls, your sheets can be print and any number of patterns you can use for your sheet or linen. But because this is an old house, I went with more of the white and the beige looking linen. Now, dolls, as I mentioned, in between my folds, I was putting the glue, and I am using my Clover iron to press the little stacks of sheets so that everything stays glued nice and neatly. The Clover iron encourages the glue to cure faster so that you don't have things unfolding. And be very, very careful if you have a Clover iron or if you choose to purchase one. It gets unforgivingly hot. Always practice safety and have a safe place to sit it where it won't burn anything or catch anything on fire. So you see here, dolls, I started to make some little stacks that were different colors other than the white because, again, I wanted to add variation to the stacks of clean linen. So now, dolls, I was feeling pretty good. I have clean white linen pillowcases or sheets, and then a couple other things folded up there. And then I looked, I had a couple pieces of mint green fabric. I thought they were kind of cute, and I thought they would be a nice addition to the little stacks of fabric that I had already done. And I used the very same technique, folded it like along the sides, folded again inward, and then folded 3 times. And my purpose for doing that, dolls, is because I didn't want to hem it. I didn't want to fray check it. I just folded all the raw edges in and glued them together so you wouldn't even notice those parts. So, dolls, put that down as a dollhouse linen hack. Now, keep in mind, you can leave these little folded pieces separate if you like, but for me, I wanted the little stacks to be little units. I didn't want them to come apart or anything. And after I made the last little folded piece with the green, I decided to put glue in between each layer of the little linen pieces so they would stay together, like I said, as a complete unit. Now I did have to use a little acetone in my fabric fusion to loosen it up a little bit. And so I put a little glob in between each layer and stacked it and made sure it all stayed together as one full piece because I wanted to be able to pick up the stacks of linen without any of the pieces falling apart. So dolls, put this down with your dollhouse laundry hacks as well. And once I completed adding a little dab of fabric fusion in between the layers of the stacked pieces of fabric, I was really pleased with it. I did have some frays on the edges that I did need to trim off so everything would look nice and neat. So I tucked in a couple of the frayed edges so you wouldn't see them. Now the little folded bundles of linen are one piece. I felt like it was time now to check on my little basket of dirty clothes. And the fabric is actually clean, dolls, but you know what I mean. So I've got clean sheets, a basket of dirty laundry, some other little folded pieces. I still feel like there's something missing, not really sure what it is. But I played around looking at little fabric pieces, and I did have this little denim jacket that I've had for quite some time, and I've been wanting to use it with the dolls or in a scene, so I decided to dip it in the water and glue solution and then wrap it with the pipe cleaners and allow it to dry in that shape. I think it'll be great for hanging on one of those hooks in the rooming house laundry room. So I went back to my little clothesline with the tank shirts hanging on it. And after my tank shirts dried, they had a lot of frays. But now that the glue was set, they were really firm and it was easy to trim off those parts that were really, really frayed and distorting the shape. I think they look really cute on this burlap piece of clothesline. I still feel like there's something missing, dolls. So here we are back in the rooming house laundry room. So I have the clean sheets stacked on the washing machine and that other little stack sitting next to it. I've hung up the blue jean jacket and the black jacket on the hooks that I made in the previous video. I feel like it's really looking good in here, dolls. And you do see my clothesline with the two little tank shirts, and I even hung a hanger on the clothesline. I really love how the dirty basket of clothes looks. I still feel like something else is missing. I know what it is. I haven't installed a light fixture. There's no light in the laundry room. I'm going to have to do something special for that. So I'm definitely going to have to place an order. I'm definitely going to have to choose something that doesn't get in the way of the clothesline. So if you dolls enjoyed this video today, definitely let me know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. And always look for me on Mondays and Wednesdays after 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I sure have enjoyed making this video for you dolls, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next episode of Little Gretchen's Workshop. Bye-bye now, dolls.